are live here at Old City Hall where the Moors have returned. Sir, do you have anything to say about this matter?
Yeah. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
Yep.
Sir, what do you have to say?
I just want to put it on the record. I'm not right. Yeah, what he said.
Moore's life matters.
More lives matter. It seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter. Shot in the back, running or choked out to death on the corners. Mistakes his taser for his sidearm, says the coroner. To the yellow journalist that won awards for writing facts for World Wide Web press stories, always calling them black. Civil rights violated. Here comes C1-7 and CIA and FBI agent, brethren, felons with what Big Brother once heard. Most Moors are nerds and study more than if I'm on the road, no biting curbs. No threats of nooses or fighting for survival. Making Moors martyrs won't happen, calling us Captain Rival. Inquisitionists, governors, and secretaries of state got stateless on their tables like ribeye steak with no care, blood dripping. They eat blacks rare. Foreigners wearing 6-point badges, pretending they're heirs to the vastness of state Muguri Balaksa. Stateless blood flow past a horse's brow, I swear it's agua. Demons thirst quench, stealing pioneers and organs. Psychiatry, death industry, to start selling black orphans and half-closed coffins, cause legs are missing, killing stateless people, cancer won't even see remission. More lives matter, but it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter.
System, what system? Not gonna make myself no victim. Run down and kick them up, educate oneself and flip them. All of the titles or nationality strips them. Must grip reality in order to really grip them in this third dimensional illusion. Organized chaos, confusion, stealing your attention. Mental intrusion, universal laws, declaration of the ancients. I self-law and master from the rooftops to the basements. Hoop deep to the spaceship, ever since all creations. Celestial foundations, ocean floor to the ranges, to the mountain tip, to the cosmic infinite. Basically, we are way above the shit. In other words, get in tune with spirit. Take a breath and accept mental polarity, gender, rhythm, correspondence, vibration, cause and effect.
More lives matter, but it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter.
More lives matter, cause I sing it no sound off. It gets defected when rejected, looking ass off. Get my perspective on the record to replay. All the news that on replay till they wanna cast off. Bury them, on to the next one. Enough of them are gunning down. Youths them a cast cross. Can't believe I told me that. Can't believe a Taj Pass. Trayvon, Michael Brown died for us to find cause. The afterlife visited the class wrong. Who they really want to see with the crown on high and the garbs on free? I am free and you're no business but your land or your country to seek your inalienable rights. The insatiable delight of knowing thyself and bringing all injustice to light. But the fight is your plight, make your sight for the bright. I'm the mic in the night, foresight for you to realize that, huh?
More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter.
I have actually been a customer of BetterHelp for a little over 2 years now, and I was able to get matched up with a therapist.
So I just want to get you in. What? What? I'm rocking. Who says we ain't in the building? Who says we ain't into building?
We the Moorish master masons, architects for your children. Reppin' Friday 13th like Jason without the killing. But we promote life, oh, it's all about the feeling. And we invoke light, yo, we them light beings. Though you might see him on the block getting his portion. Might be talking to cops, giving them caution. Occasionally wearing his fez when he's walking. See the turning heads, whispering, gawking. But he's locked in, and he's zoned out while we boxed in our own house.
We study the mystics, the adepts, the magi. Wisdom of the ancients can uncalcify us. Possible mission, free mental numbness. Extract the substance, rid minds of dumbness. Use the source, don't care what some purport. As we don't by being told man knows not. Many before the floor, souls got bought. Placed in the devil's hands, ruling the seven lands. To dogma rituals, Negro spirituals. Brainwash subliminal, keeps thinking to a minimal. They still criminal, in a world digital so pitiful. Mental survival so critical, it's visible. Can you see past righteous blocks? Hashtag zombies with waves of cyber thoughts. No need for cell phones, they speak through saw palms. It's nothing for alarm, chips and forearms.
Wind, brass, and bass, such a beautiful serenade. Women feeding me grapes, I'm feeding the enemy serenades. Whether the sky is clear or gray, rain when you hear a fake, giving life to seed. Speaking through who not here today. Show you the future in a glimpse. And always look to these holes like hallucinatory pimps. Sun walked the desert, been more of a since I found God. Look back, used to see his prince. Forget being a prince, I'm a G. OD, grown man, no Jody. Deny it, you don't know me. Don't make me tap into the old me. That's like a couple hundred years. Walk around town with a couple hundred peers and release the peace of her fears. The sun gon' shine, so what tears? This young brother here just trying to get his third eye clear.
Ish, deep, Moors don't sleep. Invest in your mind and body and unleash. Real life rap, spitting over tracks. Conscious thinking and living and then attack. Ish, deep. Moors don't sleep. Invest in your mind and body and unleash. Real life rap, spitting over tracks. Conscious thinking and living and then attack.
So as the moon sets, the sun takes its place. It spoons on blocks, inspired spots, filled spaces. Peel back, rats, who got cases. Fire stain the corridors of flammable faces. Game changers, rule benders and no pretenders. Style lenders, channel my vibe through the vibrant optic lenses. Send a message to our veterans. Soldiers up and get it in. We on our verge. We are merged subliminal beings, third eye seeing, still a participant unwilling.
They wanna break me, shape, bait, grade me, rolling with my name G, double O-M-B, S-O-N is crazy. For a minute that you think you could take me for a fool, like a native to his land, being schooled by a foreign dude. You've mistaken me, spiders on the roof, in the dark tools, have been saying you've mistaken me. You better move for our market, power pin is my tongue, your existence to target, revealing all lies and deceit on the market. Genocide, carry around in pockets, I knock it down, bulldozer. David to Goliath, it's an exposure. Out some big cats ruling and it's getting closer to your downfall. Round up all your soldiers.
Little homie, I was seeking a fortune, tired of misfortune. I just wanted a portion, everything that I never had, though I needed my portion. Blowing like porcelain, haters fabulous porcelain. Getting broke, tired of being broke. How we acquire hope is the DJ skillet some dope, just to keep us afloat. Mind as deep as the boat, brain is the lethal weapon. We want it to elope. When I speak, I provoke. Walk in the room with my aura feeling like heavy smoke. Feel like when the levee broke under my Louis Vuitton, the semi-poke. Cause dirty cops are killing, boy, you ain't a joke. The cost of living, higher profits in private prison. These little girls are selling bodies just to pay tuition. These little niggas selling niggas just for bail condition. It's like the slavery never ended, we're the intermission. I wanna free the world, but I'm one man. A couple ones like me, let me one plan. I wanna free the world, but I'm one man. A couple ones like me, one plan.
King Boom!
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists. To know the true Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists. To know the true Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists. To know the true Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists. To know the true Ali started dropping it.
Dirty Moors still attempt to infiltrate the order. Active Moors are truth, then take it to the corners. Across highways, past hedges and through borders. Move on dirty Moors like broken down waters. Watch out for agents and provocateurs trying to get next to their heads with the doctor's cures. They never pay dues and don't pay dues, contradicting with King Alfred to give clues like news. Noble Drew Ali died some pale more blues. Prophet saved him his money before the floor fell through, and that's true. Even though I don't have proof, selling memory tells me don't fall for spooks. Drop mental nukes, hanging from their own vine from the fig tree, looking up at them like Big B. No white flag or mercy for you fags. 5 point and pentagram is on our flag. Green, but not for cream. That dirty Moors took to throw off the balance of the Grand Treasury books, getting offers like high school ballers. Those that infiltrate are not Moors but robbers, robbing the people blind, deaf, dumb, and crippled. They can't tear this up, not one drop or trickle. No matter how hard they try to perpetrate the fraud, dirty Moors always fall on their sword.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what Drew Ali started dropping it.
Me not play with no so simmer and easy. From 19 how long, me see it's sleazy. So sick, it's measly and disgusting. Everyone stood there. The Moors did nothing when Drew was attacked. They took the covenant that they will protect him and have his back. Behind on dues by 4 months, going to kangaroo courts to perform stunts. Temples versus temples, lawsuits from inner fights. Not doing their job, 3,500 for birthright. Mufti Force left supposed to be in Gucci stores with God. I thank Allah for the Sufi Moors and Buddhist Nagas. Moorish mic renaissance, not rap sagas. Confusion clearer, MC battle scar wearer. Moorish nationality declarer. Straighten out the crooked ways, rap conduct squarer.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what Drew Ali started dropping it.
Let me strip them down, I'm the bone bearer. Negro, black, colored, minority, death preparer. Not the being, but the label attached. See me like Martin, going crazy, waving gats. Cause you call yourself black, that's a kick me sign on your life. Can't stab your enemy holding the blade of the knife. Numbskull MCs flow so dull that I'm pulling down Orishas like skull caps to torture the rapper, scissor sippers. Rapper, CD scratcher, insert ripper. Call me Jack and get slapped though. Admiral when I flow, major like macro. Don't spit on a cameraman like Pac will, but beat the case like Black Bill, but no lawyer. Ask Jim Carrey, liars do nothing for you while they get rich and poor you. Make you follow magistrate orders that get the coke to snort from hood corners and block ghetto. All I see is rappers, dress codes, repedo, tight shirts, skinny jeans looking like heavy metal bands. I'm not Bay but L like Gred and Hands. I grab mics, no sweat in hands, with birthright brands. I don't worry about getting scanned.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what Drew Ali started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what Drew Ali started dropping it.
What up? Read the future through the stars, or Tarot of Moors. Cut you with the scimitar or shadow sword. Dan and Callaway, our names are Moors of Europe. Black and Indian, say lion, and selling you hope. Dirty Moors tell you MST surveyors religious. Replace Jesus with Drew Ali singing hymns like Christians. Emmanuel I said be a human rights reader, but Ross play games in Moorish jalabias. Nuwapians know the dog gave him circle 7 lessons and call him a nation of Moors in 360 questions. Hebrew Israelites are Moorish, Zionist Jews, but has the mothers in the back of tabernacle rooms. Praying to the patriarch when Ark is the womb. Reincarnated Drew Ali written on given soon. Drew Ali reincarnated is also Fard Muhammad, claiming the prophet, but he's all about profit. $sign odds, 10 grand for a package. King of the Moor smearing feces, that's so savage. They're not against me, but against Drew Ali. We're not agitated like black collar or Somali. Jumping over Negro and say more means blacks as nigga leaders with scholarship off track should face a firing squad with lies like that. BLM leaders, mansions, every state on the map. No guilt or remorse. They face on billboards, but police victims in courts as a status quo wards. Mothers mourning, hiring civil rights attorneys. Most of them are not worthy and job turkeys. Make you march and picket. No one sees you like midgets, no matter how hard you fidget. Choked out for 10 minutes. Been dead for 7 on your highway to heaven. They get off with the wrist slap, but not charged like a felon. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. Your mind is so black. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts. You can't see what I can see.
That's those black
You're blind,
glasses
baby.
right there, them
Your
black
mind is so
glasses.
black.
You said meet them where they're at? Been there, done that. Sounds like you want me going back to being black. Dead carcass, a dead status, same difference. All in experience. Blacks getting shot up, but Moors made them shut up. Double cup, that's protection. Every man to a nation. Negotiate for what? When you have the Constitution. Am I a Negro or what? You need permission, not prohibitive, privilege. Like you're somebody's kid. I guess that's the way we live. Nah, free national standards. I'm nobody's bastard. Land, air, water. That spells law, but you're blind, baby. I told you, you're blind, baby. Message for the percolating. Don't shoot my birdie, more science and facts. Fiction is the movie. Look at where you act. If you don't believe me, then study. Then you will know, and you will grow. You will know, and you will grow. Fly, baby.
You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. Your mind is so black. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. Your mind is so black. This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask. Tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water. Watch the lower self drown. This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask. Tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water. Watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts with Moors, they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the convo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take Moorish science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the prophet. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma send writs again. Remain cautious, cause often they sin again. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man. Why lie? Cause you got paid to murder men. Then you try to lock them up when they riot in.
This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts with Moors, they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the convo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take Moorish science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the prophet. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma send writs again. Remain cautious, cause often they sin again. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man. Why lie? Cause you got paid to murder men. Then you try to lock them up when they riot in. That's okay, cause for freedom I'm diving in. With no knowledge, you come back to die again. Resurrect me not, cause I'd rather be one with Allah.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Islam, Moors. Peace and love to all the Moors. All the Moors worldwide. Honors. Honors to all the Moors out there. Peace to you. Peace to you. I saw the question in the chat. If you have any questions, just put it in the chat in all caps. But I just wanted to make sure we get some of these out. So the Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice Tour, honoring the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and his principles. June 24th for all the Moors near Maryland, for all the whoever's near Maryland. You want to get on some info? You want to see how it is to be around Moors? You want to know what it feels like? You want to know what it feels like? Be around the real Moors? The Moors you should have been around instead of listening to all these traders out here. So the next spot is Maryland. We got Atlanta on the way again. We got Springfield on the way again. We got Virginia on the way. So just get at Canaanland Guide at gmail.com. You know, the tour is also online. So if you have some Moors somewhere and you need a build, online build, because you can't travel or whatever, then send an email. There's the contact. Honors to the Moors near Maryland. That's giving honors to their prophet. Giving honors to their prophet, Noble Drew Ali. For all the Moors out there, remember, we used to have our Sons of Allah every third Thursday. And as you know, there's been the cutoff of the blog talk. So everything now is on GoToMeeting. Just go to RV Bay Publications homepage and you can get updated. So Sons of Allah is also going to be off Blog Talk, since they're not continuing with that platform. The go-to platform is where it's going to be at, as well as Canaanland Moors YouTube page, either Canaanland Moors 1 or Canaanland Moors 2, but more than likely 1, more than likely this one here. Every third Thursday, Sons of Allah, and our time's going to be 8 or 7:30 instead of 9 p.m. All right, so look out next week. Even though next week's the fourth Thursday, we're still going to have Sons of Allah next week right here. So for all the Sons of Allah Moors that's been riding since 2014, honors to you. So, you know, nothing's done. Just want to let you know when somebody pops up and say that they're Sons of Allah and, oh yeah, you know, the site shut down, so we're the new Sons of Allah and all that stuff. Don't fall for it. We're not gone anywhere. We're still here. We're still here. All right? But trust me, life is way better than online. Life is amazing. Right? Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up on online. Make sure you live your life, because life is to be lived. So more asks, yeah, because something with renewing or something like that, and why they renewing, you know, when they could use this other platform. So all that stuff is now on the go-to platform, but the archive is still there. So go download what you could download. Go get what you could get off the archives. Just get a terabyte and just download everything off the archives. So the more ask the question, we just want to address that, you know, just from how we were taught, right? And again, our reference point is 08. Our reference point is 08. That's our reference point. So 08, I make the Hajj to Mecca, to the Moorish Science Temple. And at the Moorish Science Temple, I was made Grand Sheik by going through Adab Chamber, passing the tests, and getting my sheikdom certification that I can have a Moorish science temple and carry on the Prophet's work in this jurisdiction, because it was never done here before. And if it's going to be done, it has to be by a Grand Sheik. That's also a divine minister. Right? That has a charter. That's the only way Moorish Science Temple is going to exist somewhere. Right? There has to be somebody who's a Grand Sheik of that. As far as Moorish Science Temple and the Moorish Holy Temple of Science and the charter and all that stuff is concerned. So when, and this is all going into answering your question, by the way. So getting voted into this position because there was nobody else available. Like they said, who wants to be Grand Sheik? And then somebody pushed me in the back, and now I'm it. So one of the things that was given was rvbaypublications.com, because the Grand Sheiks and the Grand Governors and the Grand Secretaries and the Grand Treasurer and the Grand Mufti and the Assistant Grand Sheik and the Assistant Grand Treasurer and the Assistant Grand Mufti, any of them could be a Grand Sheik. Any of them could just switch the hat. Like they could hold every seat going down the line. And then that was taught through the order, because during the time of 08, with these particular Moors, they were getting lectures regular with Sharif Bey, lectures regular with Taj Shriq Bey, Razmarai V Bey, lectures regular with Grand Sheik Nature El Bey, lectures regular with Heru Ranisi El, lectures regular with Azariah Bey, lectures regular with Hakim Bey, lectures regular with pretty much all the masters. Like all the masters. So there was a certain way that things ran, and the direction that was taken for the Canaanland Moors, Moorish Science Temple, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Divine National Movement, Grand whatever title, was the administrative functions on rvbaypublications.com. That's been up there. So for myself, not being this thing, just as I pushed in the back or whatever like that, okay, well, this is the guideline then. Because if there's something called a Grand Sheik, and there's a certain way that it's supposed to be done, then once you follow that, then you shouldn't have any issues. Everything should be straight. Right? So this is administrative functions. And again, some secret information or whatever like that. This stuff been out there. It's been out there. Page 56. The Divine Temple. The temple is the house of Allah, and a place where sacred ordinances are administered, with its inscriptive columns extending from the foundation of the earth and reaching high into the heavens, proudly supporting our divine constitutions and principles, the continental and the Moorish American flags. Seated in the far east is the Grand Sheik or Sheikess, adorned in the garb of his or her state of mind. Around him or her are his or her magistrates, ministers, and sheiks, etc. Anointing his or her head is the most important symbol of his or her office. The black fez or turban, the crown of the east, the west, the north, and south, the universal crown of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So let's say that once you pass this section right here, you better confirm from that section if you're really, really about this. Because once you start going into the thing, you're done for when you can't deal with your responsibilities as the quote unquote title, whatever. Which again goes back to why the priesthood is dead. Because when you go through the commandments, the duties, the obligations of these offices, many people are going to fail at them. Because some of these things are, you really have to be in a certain mindset to grab the gospel plow. If you're not taking it from the perspective of these are duties that you have to uphold. And then if we take the titles away, those duties still apply. You still got to do those. Don't think because your title's not Grand Sheik means that you don't have to be honorable. Your title's not Grand Sheik, so that means that you could, whatever madness that you think you could do, saying El Bede Al Ali, and then you're doing madness. Because there's for every action, there's an opposite reaction. The reaction could be positive or negative, but there's going to be a reaction based on the action. And most people aren't prepared for the reaction of their action. Which is why, again, you say the priesthood is dead. But since you brought up the thing, we're gonna, okay, fine. If you really want to go there, then okay, let's go there and see what this thing's saying. At the head of a parade demonstrated by the royal host, he or she is the grand marshal. Now so there should be parades happening if there's Grand Sheik. And then, well, we're not doing any parades and all that stuff. But we make sure we get out there and be Moors. And that's our parade. So you can go down the line. You could see that people who know about their nationality and their birthrights, who don't live near Canaanland, came from wherever they're at to Canaanland to partake in Moorish festivities. They've gone to all these different jurisdictions where there's Moors at to partake in Moorish festivities. That's the parade. Right? And when you're in this position, because I already know the priesthood's dead. That's why I cuss people out and all that stuff. And I'm Grand Sheik because somebody says, oh yeah, I'm Grand Sheik. I'm not Grand Sheik because of myself. Like I said, those Moors said I'm Grand Sheik. I didn't proclaim that. Like I'm not that all the time, every day, all day. Are you nuts? No, these obligations, are we even get to them yet? You're a grand marshal. You're head of a parade. Where's your Moorish parade at? Find me one of these grand chiefs out here that are Moorish parade. And I'm not talking about some walking in the street with a group of Moors. I'm talking shut the stuff down like Santa Claus parade, like gay pride parade like that. And there's Moors just walking. Right? So really, none of these people, including myself, is qualified to be Grand Chief. Because you can't even fulfill the first obligation, which is you're a Grand Marshal if you're a Grand Chief. If you're a Grand Chiefess, you're a Grand Marshal. What are you doing with your Grand Marshalness? All your titles and podiums and carpeted stuff and all that. People look at our temple. Why is your temple look so? But then the people with the stuff looking like church and all that, with the pews in there and all that stuff. These people are some of the biggest sellouts in the Moorish movement. These singing hymns to Noble Drew Ali people. They sold out too. So keep in mind, this is all the Grand Sheik thing that we're still talking about. How do you know when you're qualified? What's to be a Grand Sheik? To be what? These people robbed the treasury. These people murdered Noble Drew Ali, and you talk about be a Grand Sheik of something? Like I say, I'm only Grand Sheik because people said I'm Grand Sheik. I never made myself that. People want me to Grand Sheik, no problem. Grand Sheik is not. It's not like it can't be done. I've been had administrative functions. And this is anybody who you want a seat? All right, here's your book. And then they're in the seat. They're in the seat and figuring it out while they're in the seat. Right. 2, the Grand Sheik or Grand Sheikess establishes regulations according to Act 1, the rules of law on keeping the secrecy of our chambers, initiation of candidates, temple functioning, being an officer and its qualifications, voting, examinations, business meetings and bylaws, finance, dues and funds, funerals, weddings, philanthropy, the widow, the sick, and preparations. That's 2. You still want to be Grand Sheik? That's 2. 3, the office of the Grand Sheik or Grand Sheikess is of the highest order and is the highest officer in our Moorish Muslim society. The office of the Grand Sheik or Grand Sheikess is that of our head governmental officer and religious minister. He or she is responsible for Islamism, law being taught as the Prophet Noble Drew Ali received authorization to teach. Ism is a suffix of nouns and means a devotion to, an adherence to, and the characteristics and beliefs relative to systems of learning, actions, and behavior. These are promoted and acted upon for the good of society, and thus Moors are guided by the virtues of the same. These principles of action applies to the teachings and instructions, civic instructions and responsibilities, the symbolic rites, the Moorish rules of conduct, the 5 principles embodying love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, which are primal to the universal spirit of justice and right, the scepter representing the sovereign rights of the people, our authority, the charters, the Holy Quran, Circle 7 of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, the divine constitution and bylaws, the Constitution for the United States of North America, the supreme law of the land, being an offspring of the ancient principles of Moabite Moorish law, adopted for a just, harmonious, and prosperous government, And when these divine principles are violated, reciprocity by nature is summoned and justice must take its course. So when you play around like you're the Grand Sheik, I'm the Grand Sheik of the whatever like that, you got the badge and all that stuff, the sash going around. I'm the Grand Sheik of the whatever like that. So you gotta yield when we come down, and then they kidnap you and stuff like that. It lets you know that the priesthood is dead. And when we playing games like you're some head of some whatever like that, when all the stuff is in disarray, all the stuff is messed up. It's effed up. Why? Why is it effed up? Because none of them are dealing with profit. All of them are dealing with their ego. All of them are dealing with, I'm the Grand Sheik, so I get the whatever like that. Messing up the energy of the thing. Right? And we ain't studying no, especially Muhammad and Quran and all that stuff, because we're Muslims. Our prophet is Noble Drew Ali. Our prophet's not Muhammad. Our prophet's not Buddha. Our prophet's not Jesus or Confucius or anybody else who was a prophet or prophetess. That's not our prophet. Our prophet is Noble Drew Ali. Period, point blank, period. Peace be unto him. We ain't giving Muhammad no peace be unto's anymore. We're not giving Yahweh no peace be unto's anymore. We're not giving anybody any peace be unto's other than Noble Drew Ali at this point. Because all you people had nothing to say to us. All you whoever's had nothing to say when I was Negro, black, colored. I had to find out about Noble Drew Ali myself. Moor put me on. I went to the Moor Science Temple to go learn about Noble Drew Ali. I did that. I was intrigued when I saw the picture of him that nobody ever showed me ever in my life. Right? And I, not because of ego, but you're not telling me. So I know about my nationality and birthrights. There's some online guy push live or whatever like that. We just had the what was it? What pretty much early afternoon, 3:30. We're with some young people, giving them their athletic banquet for all the sports they played out of the year, give them awards, give them free stuff, give them dinner after. And you're talking BS about some Drew Ali and House of Tunisia and Imperial Moors and all this BS. You don't deal with any of that BS. We deal with Drew Ali and that's it. We don't do a Moorish rite of Masons and all that stuff. We do a Noble Drew Ali. And there's no one who could convince me to hear about and listen to somebody other than Noble Drew Ali and the Moors who show and proved themselves to me that these are credible Moors. I can learn from them. Right. If Drew Ali came to you, you would know. If Drew Ali came to me, we have a Moor Science Temple for the past 13 years, and you're talking about if Drew Ali came to somebody. We had Moor Science Temple for 13 years. We seen churches next to our spot come and shut down. We seen clothing stores next to our stuff come shut down. We seen restaurants come shut down. We're still there. 13 years. The F out of here. The hell out of here. The fact that there's Moors in our temple proves that Drew Ali is in our temple. The fact that our temple is the first Moorish science temple of America to represent Noble Drew Ali ever proves to you that Noble Drew Ali is in our temple. Never ever has there been a thought of having a Moorish science temple here in 100 years. Never. Nobody had the thought. Or did everybody sell out and say that they're going to have everything else except Moorish science temple? Right? And keep in mind, the priesthood is dead. Don't tell me nothing about no prophet and all that stuff when we have all this literature. And then saying we don't have the prophet. Prophet's not here, but we have all this literature. The hell are you talking about? Hell are you talking about? Our temple is incorporated as a non-profit charity. What's the problem? What's the problem? It's a non-profit charity. So nobody can get any finance from this. You check all those other people, they're not incorporated as a charity. They're incorporated as a religious corporation, meaning they could steal people's finance and give them nothing. Right? Yeah, there's one. Find me a temple where Drew Ali has the best seat in the building. Find me a temple that's doing these things that we're talking about right here. There's few. Right? It's non-profit, so no one can steal the finance that comes into this. That's why it's non-profit. Because if it's profit, then people can steal the finance. All they need is a seat at the table. That's not about what Drew Ali brought. That's why I tell you, don't tell me about no profits. I'm talking about real life. Stop the BS. I'm talking about this is bigger than some titles, Grand Sheik and Grand whatever. It ain't about that. It's about, are you living a Moorish life? Living a Moorish life? If you're not living a Moorish life, then why are you living? Put the barrel in your mouth and stop stressing other people out for no reason. Just jump off the bridge. Because you don't have to be here. You have a choice. Red pill or blue pill. Don't keep us in suspense. Just go run in front of a truck right now and do everybody a favor. Right? And you keep bringing up Noble Drew Ali as if what I'm doing as a Grand Sheik is what Noble Drew Ali did or something like that. No, nobody said that. Who said that? I know we're incorporated. I know. I'm the one who's on the paper. I know this. And again, we're going through all this thing because somebody's talking about, you really want to do a Grand Sheik? This is all the stuff Grand Sheik got to deal with. And this is not just some, for example, we've come to the temple and there were rocks thrown in the window. We're still here. We come to the temple and the upstairs is leaking to our floor, and we have nothing to do with upstairs, and we're still here. We had people rub feces all over our door, all over our window, all on the handles so we can't get in there, all feces all in the lock, and we're still here. You really think you could be a grand sheik? Please, half you people, 3/4 of you people would fold as a grand sheik. You ain't keeping no temple alive. You would say, F this, and go back to do whatever it is that you're doing. Right? Let me show you how people are full of BS. So the only reason that we did this today was, and Funk, if you're still questioning how to qualify as a grand sheik and all that stuff, if you're still, you're needing more, just go get the administrative functions book. It's on rvbaypublications.com. It's been there. Somebody can't say they didn't have the opportunity to know what it is or whatever. So now you can talk how you really want to talk, because you realize that all these people sold out and they have the title, and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, which would obviously mean that these people are sellout if they're holding the title up like that and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing according to administrative functions. Then something's up, right? Now, you're a dumbass if you think a charter could be incorporated. Why would a charter be incorporated? The organization, the religious corporation, has a name. The name is Moorish Science Temple of America. Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Both of those have a charter from Noble Drew Ali that has nothing to do with incorporation or anything like that. It has nothing to do with incorporation. The incorporation is so that we can get the number, so that we can exercise our right as Aboriginal and Indigenous, because the only way that we can exercise and have a building and do all that stuff, the only way that you could do that is if you have the number. So reserve your rights, because we know how to live within contracts. We're not scared of some modern European with a building saying business office. We're not afraid to go in there. We know how to live within contracts. And in the 13 years, we never paid, never showed anybody any type of information for our stuff, because it has nothing to do with them. It's Aboriginal and Indigenous, and they know this. This is the modern European called Canada. They know this. They know who Moorish Science Temple of America is, where we're at. And it ain't because of some incorporation. It's because of the activity. It's because of the activity. It's because of all the different Moors out here who know who they are, because they came to the Moorish Science Temple of America that was founded by Noble Drew Ali and started backing these people down with the BS that they were trying. From child support to mortgage fraud to driver's license fraud, going down the line. Moors have been active here. Not because of Grand Sheik, because of Noble Drew Ali, because they're birthright, and they know they're not black. They know they've been played, and they're sick and tired of being played, and now they're awake. And they know the truth. They know the truth about Noble Drew Ali. Right? Because people always think that they can tell somebody else what to do or something. No, you can't. You can't tell somebody what to do. I mean, you're somebody's boss or something. What you say goes or something like that. Or what you learned is the only way, and what I learned, oh, no, I can't use that. Get the hell out of here. So they asked the question, yourself or anyone, have they ever set off or settled a debt through return remittance, stock property taxes, has payment through forced assimilation in the system? Is there a Juali trust? Can the trust pay our debt? Right? Where people say, why do you teach trust law and civics, and why do you teach all that stuff? Because it's BS. Because you're dealing with a corrupt colonial operation that they've escheated land, they've murdered everything that could live. They murdered everything that can live. They murdered that. So you're not dealing with some moral people. So stop the BS with, oh yeah, well, the paper says remittance on it, and then there's a dotted line, so you can cut that, and then you can write discharged over it, and all this BS. Been there, done all that BS. It's BS. Nobody has ever showed you that they did that. Nobody showed you the bill saying zero. No one. Absolutely no one has shown you the bill being zero because they did some remittance voucher, whatever. Just find me somebody. And I don't want to hear no long conversations about anything. Just show me the bill saying zero, that they accepted the remittance slip, because they'll put all that on the bill. And we're good to go. If you can't, stop the BS. Stop the BS. No one could show you that. Right? That's a game. They're going to take your finance. Because you're going to have to go to the class or whatever to learn how to do this thing and all that stuff. And then you're paying out the yin yang. And then at the end of it, you lose your house and your car and everything else that you have. Because you listen to some trader that now you can't find them. They don't have return your calls and emails anymore. Right? But that's what you get, because there was none of that in 2008. When I came into this in 2008, there was no discharge debt people and credit this, and there was none of that. The nationality and birthrights, that's it. Enforce the Constitution, because that's the supreme law of the land. These people are using acts, ordinances, statutes, and everything else. That's a fraud. Just hold them to the Constitution. Hold them to the Constitution. Everything's running smooth. No issues. Until all these BS people start being sent to cause confusion with telling you about everything except nationality and birthrights. And that's how the position is where it's at now, where that's their question. Their question is, how do I get out of something? When the question is like that, you know that they've been listening to wrong people. Right? Because the question should be about, well, if my grandma used to go out in the back and pick stuff and boil it and all that stuff, that would mean is that the medicine? Make it be real to you. This has to be real to you. And if it's real to you, you're going to be looking at it from the right perspective. Too many people are looking at the Moorish paradigm from the wrong perspective, because they've had infiltrators. Now they have bots. Do you think that's a Moorish page? That's not even a Moorish page. You think that's a Moorish platform? It's not even a Moor running that? Some European using voice augmentation and all this to pretend to be Moors to cause confusion? They just have the low down dirty Moors who they know that they're Moors. They know this is everybody's birthright, but then they have people thinking, you know, like the other question, well, is the trust, and then is the Noble Drew Ali Trust? The Noble Drew Ali Trust is Moor Science Temple. The Noble Drew Ali Trust is Moorish Divine and National Movement. The Noble Drew Ali Trust is Moorish Holy Temple of Science. That's the Noble Drew Ali Trust. I would suggest you get down with one of those if you want to be part of the trust. But don't think that you get down with one of those and be part of the trust means that you're getting your degree the second day of university. That ain't happening. You have to put in some work, pay some dues. There's not some handouts stuff like the colonist does with you. If you say you're Moor, then you get your gloves and grab that shovel over there because you don't want you to get calluses. What do you mean? What do you mean get the? I'm supposed to. I said that I'm a Moor so I can write to travel because write to travel. You better grab that shovel. I'll help dig these ditches over here. I know right to travel you're talking about. Right. Now, in the 1920s, though, in the 1920s, Noble Drew Ali was the trustor. And all the grand whoever's were the trustees. And guess what you were when you became a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America? You became a beneficiary. And then your connection to the trust is that you're El Beyde Al and Ali. And you have ID from the Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Holy Temple of Science. And you have a Holy Quran, which has a land title in it called the Moroccan Empire, which is North, South, and Central America. In the 1920s, you had a treasury. And as a beneficiary, guess whose treasury that is? Because the trustor set it up like that. That's what you get when you become a member. And guess what? And then, guess what? When you become a member, you get to leave your colonial job and go get a job at your trade for whatever of the businesses that the Moors have already established. And guess what? Guess what? And when you become a member of Moorish Science Temple of America, there's a Moorish community where you get a house off the top. That's whose area you live in, and then they show you a map until you pick something. In the 1920s. Oh, and then if you had children, guess what school they went to? Guess what school? They went to the school at the Moorish Science Temple of America. But that was 1920s. It's 2023. These people sold you out since back then. They've been living off your virtues for all these years. They've been living off your virtues, living off your incompetence. You're living off and your incompetence is really what the devil is. stopping you from being your higher self. Because you're getting caught up in trust, and is Drew Ali have a trust and all that stuff, when truth is one of the principles of the Moorish divine and national movement. And people with turbans and fezzes have been lying. So doesn't that mean there's no truth? And then if there's no truth, then how are you getting trust? How you have a trust if there's no truth? Moor told me years ago that in his research with regard to Noble Drew Ali trust and all that stuff, the only thing that came up with regard to that is that however he set it up, it was for the beneficiaries. Right? And then in his research, because he kept hearing trust, and he would just more say, I just research it and see what I find. And he researched it, and the only thing that he found relative to the trust of Noble Drew Ali is that it's a Sestaki trust, and it is directly for the beneficiaries. Right? It was for the beneficiaries. Now, being beneficiaries of this vast estate, because that's a trust too. This vast estate, and then in the vast estate, there's a trust in this institution that once you become a member of this, the benefit you get as a beneficiary is paramount. And it was all on lock, and these people robbed you of everything. People died with millions as Moors that state just came and took because they were a traitor. These Moors weren't collecting fiat notes in the 1920s for dues. And it's to let you know why the situation is how it is, why people have these weird questions when it comes to the Moorish paradigm. They have these off questions. Because the pattern of learning that they've been getting have probably been coming from traders and people who aren't really about liberating the people with this information. Because this information is supposed to liberate the people. Them knowing the truth about their nationality and birthrights. That's supposed to liberate them. Like they're absolutely supposed to be liberated. Once they get this information, and it seems like the liberation is not happening when people get this information, when this is the information. Why is it that they're not? The only thing it could be is that they're getting the wrong information. And then if you're asking the question, well, how are they getting the wrong information? That's the people who are disseminating it. And the people who are putting it out aren't putting it out how it's supposed to be put out. Like we said, in '08, you had to sit at the feet of the masters to learn. You're not, have 50 guys online saying that they're the Moorish whatever and telling you BS. The real lecture was being at the master's feet. Right? Because they always make it appear crazy, like this is some far out thing or something like that, right? This stuff is basic. The problem is that one, we've been passive for too long, so that caused us to fall behind, and two, our enemy has been active just as much as we've been passive. So that's why we're behind. So when you talk about getting back your estates and all that, that's mindset. Getting back your estate is somebody send you mail and it says Morocco. That's getting back your estate. To Cujo L, whatever, mailing location, Morocco. You got your estate back. Mindset is how you get your estate back. And again, going back to this thing about the wrong learning, the wrong people that people are getting information from. To have that mindset that estate is just property only, right? Like when we go to the definition, the interest which one has in lands or in any other subject of property, the interest which one has in lands. An estate in lands, tenements, and hereditaments signifies such interests as the tenant has therein, the condition or circumstance in which the owner stands with regard to his property. So our property is the Moroccan Empire. That's an estate. The Moroccan Empire is divided up into different jurisdictions. Those jurisdictions are Asiatic states. Those jurisdictions are what Moors say that they are, because what a European who's modern says doesn't apply. Yes, we know they're colonists. Yes, we know they're going to change the street sign. Yeah, we know they're going to do that. That doesn't mean something. They change the street sign to what? They change street sign all the time. Next week they're going to change street sign to another name. Right? So yes, there's these things that exist. The execution lacks because many choose to stay on the trader side of be in this for themselves when they're supposed to be sharing that energy, that wealth. They shouldn't be hoarding. It shouldn't be just them as a temple that has, 85 million square foot, whatever like that, and everybody else has a shoebox. But they don't want to share the wealth. So this is where you get into the thing of, you have, I was building with a Moor, and we were talking about, you have two people trying to do 100 people's jobs. And then the two people probably get to doing, 60 of the jobs, when the two should have just did the two what they could do, and then master that, then keep moving. Instead of stretching yourself thin to have no results. And at one time, it wasn't stretched thin. You can, once you look up Moorish, you're getting master teachers automatically. Once you look up Moorish, you're getting good stuff. No BS. None. Right? It's orchestrated. And then we're figuring it out while it's going on. While the play is happening, we're waking up and realizing that we're in a play. Instead of just jumping off the stage and getting out of here because we realize that this is some BS, we want to try to have conversation with people on the stage. Well, why are we doing this? And what are you doing? And people are ignoring them. They're just going through the motions of the play or whatever like that. And they're trying to have some conversations with some people on the stage with them. And then thought, well, people are racist. They're not giving me any attention and all this. When your dumbass isn't part of the play. Why are you even on the stage? What are you doing up there? Everybody's booing, throwing stuff or whatever. You're still up there. The Moorish paradigm is the only way out. That's the only way out. There's no other way out than the Moorish paradigm. Now, when you get into the Moorish paradigm, it's your duty to make sure that you're doing what you have to for yourself first. You put on your oxygen before you go put on other people's stuff. Right? If you want to expand your knowledge, buy books. You go to khalifamedia.com and you can buy all the books that you want to expand your knowledge, which are written by Moors. So you're getting Moorish information. You can go to rvbaypublications.com, get every book off there. And you will get your estate back because it's mental. It's like Moors who 5 years later that, oh, Grand Sheik, remember when I used to think that, oh man, that was crazy. I used to think like that. That's crazy. Because the acquired knowledge, right? Being, for example, this is what Noble Drew Ali said, right? This is what Noble Drew Ali put out for Moors. Because it's about the mindset. It's about the mindset. Now look at this, right? Prophet Drew Ali speaks to the nations. Is he talking to temples? No, he's not. Is he talking to organizations? No, he's not. What are you talking to? Nations. What are you talking to nations? Oh, because he's a prophet. And prophet comes for nations. If you have race pride and love your race, join the Moor Science Temple of America and become a part of this divine movement. Join the Moor Science Temple of America and become a part of this divine movement. Who's subordinate? Moor Science Temple or divine movement? Well, Moor Science Temple, right? Oh, and because that's the youngest thing that was established. Yeah. Same thing we were talking about. Join. When you're a member, you become a beneficiary because Moor Science Temples are trusts. And anybody who has a Moor Science Temple of America, off the top, they're supposed to have $1 million, $2 million in the treasury. As soon as they get their charter, they're getting the millions to make sure that they're running. Just like Vatican does with all the Catholic Church guys and all that. Right? The Holy See is supposed to be Moorish. Everybody saw what Juali did and applied it in some way, shape, or form and became rulers of whatever realm that they created for themselves. And our people sitting here can't even figure this stuff out. And keep in mind, we know you can't figure it out because there's opposition. Well, the opposition is your own. That's the part that you got to get to your head. Right? We had Moors who had race pride, loved their race, joined the Moorish Science Temple, and became part of the divine movement. And they actually received the power to redeem their race, whether it was their brother, their sister, their whoever. That they sat down with them about some more science, and this one other member of the family was like, yo, you know what? You're actually right. You're actually right. I get it. Right? Why? Because where there is unity, there is strength. Together we stand, divided we fall. It's probably in our best interest to be together, right? Is this field open to strong men and women to uplift the nation and take their place in the affairs of men? So I don't know why people are playing around like this field is open for strong men and women to sit down and sing hymns to Noble Juali. Or just sit down and discharge debts. Or sit down and do absolutely nothing with all this information that we have that we're supposed to be uplifting the nation with. Right? If Europeans and other nations are helping me, why not you? It is your problem. And we always got to bring up a Maxim Almanac. And these Europeans that are helping the Moors and the Negroes are playing games. They don't want nothing to do with Moors. They can't whatever because they're not Moors. And then the ones who know that they're Moors, they're playing church games. They're playing religious corporation, get the check, and rob the people. Because they're not telling the people that the temple is a trust. And that by a member, that means you're a beneficiary of the trust. But remember, you get out what you put in. So in these days and times, you know, ain't no million in the treasury. Believe that. If you got $1 million, bring it to the temple and help them do some work. Bring it to the temple. Make sure they're doing the work when you give them the finance, because you'll be able to see the stuff. Right? You're not discharging debts and all that stuff to have a building. That's members' dues for 13 years. Why we have a building. That's the members who make that. Members who realize that, hey, yeah, this is my birthrights. And I have a temple. And I'm part of the Moorish Divine National Movement. I'm a member. Why the hell wouldn't I rep for my own stuff? I'm repping for everybody else's stuff, and then my own stuff, I'm playing games with it. Right? You see, that's the issue. Like when you're talking about from private to state ownership and all that, remember that it's a new era of time now. And those stuff that you read in them law dictionaries, when we got put onto that stuff, it was already done. That's just info. The application is, what are you doing right now to save your children? Because these people are pedophiling the planet. It's, what are you doing right now so that your children are going to have something when they get to your age? It's about, what are we putting in place right now so that we have a 50, 100, 500 year plan, direction that we're moving in. That's what everybody else is doing. While we're playing games over here, talking about what to do. You already know what has to be done. The issue is that we're spread thin. Everybody's doing what they can do and some. The problem are the ones doing nothing. Right? So, for example, if you're saying that you're electronics engineering and all that, right, then you should be in a temple, right? And then you being in that temple, you're taking that info, skill, whatever like that, and you have a Moorish electronics school where you're teaching electronics, and tuition is whatever, and you have the building where people come there and they go into the classes or whatever like that, and you're the dean of the Moorish electronics school. Right? And then you're gonna go looking, and then there's gonna be nothing called Moor Science Temple where you're at. And then you're gonna be like, why is there nothing called Moor Science Temple here? Because I'm an engineer and I should be able to go to the temple, and you realize that people sold you out. You know, we've been telling you. So because they sold out, you have to keep studying so you can resonate, vibrate on the frequency that the other Moor, who's just like you, doesn't know that you guys are there together in the same town or city or whatever. Right? Vibrate on the same frequency so you can unify with other Moors in your territory. We start with 2 Moors. We started with 2 Moors. 08, we had 2 Moors. It's 2023, and we have Moors all over the planet now. Moors all over the planet. We started with 2 Moors. There's Moors down with this. I never met them. I never met them. But they're down with being Moors. So I know this works. I know this works. Problem is we're spread thin. And when we're in an age right now where everything you need finance. Stop playing. You know that everything you do, you need finance. Somebody wants finance from me for whatever it is you want to do. I don't care what it is. They want finance from you. So it's about setting yourself up so you can have this finance while at the same time trying to keep the finance within. Because once it goes out, it's not coming back because these people aren't giving up their finance. Or we have the Moors who are already at a certain level of having finance, and then they become the funding stream for the proper temples to do what's supposed to be done. Right? So it's either you have people who are committed to this and they get finance however they get it, and then they're putting it to the movement, and they're not even looking for anything. I mean, they're just paying their obligations. No questions asked. And then you have the temples who are going to go to the colonists and go get finance from them and all that. And we're not talking about, grants or anything. We're talking about they're incorporated with the colonists, and the colonists is giving them anything that they want. But then everything that they get doesn't go to the people, it just goes to them, and the people live in the worst conditions. And you could talk to Negam and those Moors about that. They'll tell you that right now that's going on. Right now, that chief is stealing all the finance. Finance was supposed to go to the people. And that's in the quote unquote Indian realm where they're doing that. The reserve realm. What do you think they're doing out here off the reserve? Talking about taking people's finance. Right? So we're up against a fraud, a big fraud. That fraud is all they know. So you get with like minds, apply what you can, teach this stuff to the children, teach this stuff to the children, and give them an opportunity to do what we could have never did. Oh, and she got voted out. Islam to that. Islam to that. Right. But we know the Moors a lot of times. The Moors a lot of times have a lot that they want to get on the record. So just push the button. Let's push the button before we get out of here. If you have anything to add on, if you have any additions to the build. But just remember, this is not about look at me. This is about save yourself, save whoever else that you could save, unify with other Moors who are on your frequency, and enjoy your life being Moors together. Enjoy your life being Moors together. Like, experience what it feels like to be Moors. Study, 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 apply what you know. If you find some Moors and they got, a temple, a building, a school, or whatever and they're righteous and doing things the right way, unify with those Moors and help them do some stuff too. You got some finance, give them some of your finance. Let them know that you're for unity, and just help them do some stuff. That's all. Ain't nothing hard. Islam, Moors.
Islam, peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Moor. What's good?
What's up, man? All honest to you, man. All honest to all the Moors. I'm throwing a summit in the New York territory in September. We have a Moor that donated 200 acres, and on his 200 acres, he want to hire some Moors to come out there and work and start the economics and give back. This Moor is already wealthy. I'm talking about he already played professional ball. He's wealthy, and also he has an operating system for the Moors so we can be autonomous. Like if y'all don't know what an operating system is, like Windows or Mac, which is with Linux operating system. He also for the Moors. He has a processing center for the Moors. Whatever app they have out there, we can create our own app. And also this system, we don't have to use social. And also this same Moor, if the power grid go out, he got this machine where we don't need to get power from the grid. And this is all for Moors. And so, he just entrusted me to get the Moors together that's like-minded, that's willing to start in that territory. And with them group of Moors, we can move to other territories and teach the other Moors how to do it. But it's basically an economic system to help Moors and create businesses and jobs just for Moors, and so we can spread that wealth to other Moors and go get other Moors and help them out. Also, on that 200 acres, he set aside, I want to say 20 or 40 acres for Moors that displaced, and he's going to build some homes. Now, in September, it's a summit for all Moors to come out and have these conversations that's really about it and create committees and standardize how we're going to do things, and also to build a school on that property and just go on like you were saying. So just to have the conversation, you know what I mean, and be like, look, this is, let's take this from this Moor, have a committee, have a council, and then execute it, and standardize and just do for us. And also in September, the reason why we chose September, I wanted to do it in August, but what he's doing is he's building some housing. So when he do get some Moors up there, when we bring some Moors up there, they don't have to look for housing while they working. You know what I mean? So if they working and they got skills, we want to hire them Moors, all Moors. So that's what this particular Moor got going on. On top of that, he got a blockchain where we can put our identification, and it's just a tool, identification on a blockchain, and because that comes a real ID, a database. So that's like putting something on a record, basically. So it's just using the tool, that it's kind of like it's ironclad putting it on a recognized international. Now, if people understand what I'm talking about, then that means we don't need a passport. We don't need everything else. It's on a blockchain. And I know other people gonna be like, well, they own a blockchain. No, this particular Moor had a technology. It's a closed Moorish system. Our own blockchain, internet, whatever, just for Moors. And we can actually watch the economic. That's what he's donating. And
Right.
that's one location.
That's part of what when we're talking about Moors who are getting into this information, getting into this paradigm, that whatever you have, you're bringing it with you. So if you have a skill, if you have finance, if you have whatever you have, just make sure that you're connecting with the right Moors.
Right.
Like for example, this Moors he already had his stuff before saying I'm a Moor.
Right.
He had the stuff already, but now that he's a Moor, then he's gonna do it for the Moors instead.
Right.
And also too, I wanted you to yield some of the stuff for September.
Okay. Yeah. And also we want Moors to come out that have Moorish businesses and vendor there, so people can see the Moors and connect with that, and we can see the culture. You see what I'm saying? We can actually see the culture, bring the children out.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's what we got going on September. I'm calling on all Moors. Whether you rap, whatever you do, come out and vendor, get your booth. You know what I'm saying? And when we do this, the proceeds is going back to the Moors. It's going back to all Moors. So I just fortunately, I linked up with this Moor. He been trying to reach out, and actually, Brother Hakeem hooked that up. I've been working with Brother Hakeem with the metaverse, and that's another way that we basically gonna build. We building it right now. We just put things together to build a virtual school for teachers that want to teach Moorish children until we have a physical school in different locations. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Islam, brother B.
Islam.
How's everyone on the panel? For the record, I just want to put myself on the record, man. I just thought maybe this was a very important time for me to put myself out in the air. Let my voice be heard. Let everyone know that I'm a real individual. All this stuff is real. None of it's fake. Yes. Brother Hamzai, good work, man. Continue, push forward in every aspect. We all are different points in our moments in our life right now. Just bring whatever you got to bring to the table. Be yourself. Make it happen. Put Prophet Noble to our leaders on everything. Love reigns supreme. Islam.
Islam, more.
I just want to say, man, to you, man, kudos to you. You heard me for holding it down. You know what I'm saying, and being right there and being one of these righteous grand sheep. You know what I'm saying, and honor of more, man. You've been putting work for a minute, man. A minute. You know what I mean? So I want to say thank you personally.
No doubt, I appreciate it. But hands down, we already know where we get our inspiration from. More vengeance, man.
Yep.
Like we say, hands down, Prophet Noble to Ali, Brother Cujo, Brother Todd, Dr. Ali, Brother Nature L, Brother Marino, everybody who's doing right, man, doing right. Just won't do right, man. To everyone who's been sincere, to everyone who's been honest, to everyone who's going strictly by the law, strictly by the word, not bringing any other than that, not bringing nothing other than that. Just coming with the truth. That's all.
Islam, Cujo, I got one question for you.
Yeah, man.
Hey, bruh. So they got this particular Moor. I'll tell you offline. You feel me? So they got the Moor that's selling this process, right? And he said that, we got to be bankers and we got access to all these funds, right? My question to you is, he claimed he got 20 million, or he know a Moor that got 20 million, right? But this guy is charging 1,500, 800 for prices. Now my thing is, why don't you create an institution and just charge your fee, like you said? On top of that, if you could discharge all this stuff, right, and you got the bag already, why your price is $800, $1,000, $5,000? On top of that, if he could discharge things, why he don't discharge the payment to him?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
I'm not getting that, and they going through this process thinking they can live like him, and it's
Yeah.
like you don't see the place. So what would you say to that, man? Because they got Moors that come to me, they come to you, and you already know they be like, oh, I spent 2,500, 5,000, 3,000, and then he told me he ain't gonna give me all of the songs, but this the end results, and they only going through that because they thinking and hoping they get the goal. So what do you say to that? Because they've been saying discharge for a minute, but I just don't understand why you ain't discharging the payments.
Well, as they say, you know, the people are abused for a lack of knowledge. And the more brought it up, like we have master teachers who, years ago they've been told us about dangers of the UCC and all that, So certain things aren't even in our realm. Like certain things are we know that it's infiltrated thoughts. We know that it's thought forms. Like the whole idea of that concept is not something that's more science. That is something that came in later by individuals whose duty was to cause confusion, which we're seeing the confusion caused right now. But we're only seeing it with the ones who are lacking in knowledge. We're not seeing it, that the adepts already know what the game is. But the ones who are lacking in knowledge, 100%, they're gonna pay their 3,000. They're gonna pay their 2,500, not because whatever, but that's what they do. They've been doing that. In 2008, there were people who were selling packages, but it was extremely few. And everybody already knew that was a package. So them trying to sell it wouldn't, it wouldn't yield what it's yielding now, with people who just giving up finance just because some more has a paper in his hand, or some more has a website. Oh yeah, we're the sovereign, whatever, and they make up a seal, and now people are giving them finance 1,500 for some papers. And like you're saying, they're getting all this finance, and then they're not giving it back.
Right. That's crazy. I mean, I sit on the dude live, and he was like, yeah, we got this, and I'm looking at the house, the backyard, and all that stuff, and I'm like, and I looked on it, and I'm like, damn, he charging 5,000.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I'm
crazy.
saying? For injunction and stuff, and I'm like, all you got to do is study, and then just to give the people some information. Most of all Moore's information, a lot of Moore's information that you could just look at whether it is incorrect or correct. There's a template on the internet of the same stuff he's selling.
Yeah.
Who was then? I was just reading. Then on top of that, they don't know the meaning of words. They just don't. They don't get it. What's wrong with them? Why people won't study? I don't get it. I don't get it, brother Amzite. I just sit back and look at all of it. I'm just so glad. I just take the high road now.
I'm just wondering where they getting all these finance at, and we don't have it. I'm just kind of curious.
They getting sent. It's paper.
No, brother, they paid $3,005. I watched it. I watched people signed up for $1,500, $3,000, $5,000, and watch this guy sit in his phone and he's collecting, bro. I'm talking about. I listen. There's brothers that's collecting like $200K, bro, $30K a month.
There's been hard-working people over the years. Work hard, save all their money, and giving it to this guy. I don't know why they doing it.
Yeah, boy, it's all good. I just wanted to ask the Grand Sheik that, put that on the record. You know what I mean? So people won't, deal with them situations like that, because it's like, why don't you give it to the Moors? If you got the sauce, like you said earlier, why don't you share the wealth like this other Moors and other Moors? I mean, Moors build, we don't charge, man. We pay with knowledge if that's the case. Hey, Moor, you know how to do such and such. Yeah, I got something for you. And while you build it with that Moor, y'all just exchanging information, because guess what? If I build my brother or sister up, then we up.
Right.
Now we can go do something now.
Yep. Easy as
I don't
that.
know what's wrong. These guys are greedy, though. I don't know why these guys are greedy. They don't know what love is.
No, they
all I
know.
can do is chop it up to bad treatment as a child.
They know what it is. They know what it is. They know what they're doing. It's just like the freaking the pedophile luring a child or whatever. They know what they're doing.
It's really sick, though. Across the board, what happened to love, especially for women, when she brought you here?
They don't have love. They like, look, I learned this, I studied, so now y'all gotta pay for it. But you wouldn't have found out she was a Moor if it wasn't for Noble Jew Ali or these master teachers out there. So I found this loophole and I studied, so I don't want to share it with my brothers and sisters.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Right.
Crazy. They got millions. And we're talking about charging people.
Yeah, bro. That they got a guy right now. I'm gonna send you his page. You probably already know who I'm talking about. I'm like, I looked at the prices. I said this to the other Moor. I said, man, look at this. He like, what? I said, hold up. That's just, man, listen, the page that I saw was like over 200K. I said, bro, he got 3 more categories, bro. He like, what? I'm like, I said, count that out. Yeah, but my thing is, once again, if he has the sauce to this show or something, and he already got his millions, why don't he just give it to his Moors or get a group of Moors up and like, hey, when you get your finance, give me 10%. And then let's take that 10% and go to a Moorish temple, or let's go find some Moorish children and put a park in that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's go start a business and put them children to work and show them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them selling drugs, you know what I mean? Let's go buy a pharmacy. You see what I'm saying? And show them that way.
Yes, especially when you promoting that you're going to help and taking people finance.
Oh, he helped. I mean, they get remedy, but they're not getting. They going through. Listen to what I'm saying. Like they got a tier 1, a tier 2, tier 3, right? Yeah. So in between that, while they learn that, they might get some remedies. They do get remedies, right? But what I'm saying is, their goal is the only reason why they jumping over them hoops. They trying to get the bag that he getting off of them.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody
Yeah,
asked to
yeah.
say, well, if you got these millions, why don't you just show us $25, brother?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or why don't you have a school? Or why don't you discharge this? You know, if I'm getting my millions from the treasury and all that, what you saying,
Why
why
don't you
don't you
just do it
just
for help though? Why don't you
no?
just
But
do it free?
what I'm saying is, if it really was a discharge, brother, then he
Right.
could get them they millions and just
Uh-huh.
take a little fee. That's what
Right.
I'm saying. Don't charge
Right.
them and they hoping to get the millions.
They got to pay him first before they get it.
Right. But they ain't gonna get it because it's not there.
Another scam.
It's fiat anyway. Instead of them going and build a Moorish institution and Moorish businesses and work with each other. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Knowledge open up doors that money can't buy. But guess what? Your vast estate is by you being active and being a Moor. So like Cujo say, whatever you do, get with some Moors and y'all start building. And hey, it's a Moorish business. So this more help this more. If you sell tissue paper and I'm a and I sell, I don't know, you sell tissue paper and I sell laundry detergent. Okay, there we
Uh-huh.
go. We building each other. So now I don't have to go to Walmart and get that. I can go over there and then you just build with other Moors and then you hire Moors. While you doing that, you know what I'm saying? You have institutions and you keep building with building. Now you know you look around, you got a whole Moorish community, and you keeping it circulating.
No
That's what
doubt.
I'm saying. That doesn't make sense to me. It
They won't
doesn't.
do
Like,
that though.
yeah, but they got Moors that doing it. But once again, like Cujo said, we spread it thin. You got Moors doing 60 people jobs.
Yeah. Especially Cujo.
You know, like get with some Moors and y'all start building. But if everybody worrying about finances, if you know you're a Moor, create your Moorish business. You don't even have to operate in a realm. You can do business amongst each other.
There's plenty of opportunities out there. Just gotta know what they are and
They know
apply
what it
yourself.
is. They know what it is. It's just, you know, like who just said, they want to be the leader guy. I don't want to be the leader guy. I'm just a Moor that's doing the work.
Right.
I don't want
You
to be,
keep
but
jumping
I
over
mean,
weed.
well, I mean, I'm just telling you, these package sellers is like it's ridiculous. So if you're a Moor and you got a business, they got some
Uh-huh.
Moors got businesses and nobody's not coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Cujo got books, buy a book.
Networking.
Cujo got
Network.
music, buy music. If you
Right.
can't
Network.
have, if you don't have it now, when you save up, go ahead and buy it. That's helping a Moorish business.
No doubt.
You,
Networking.
you see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
You know,
But they
and if
won't
you in the
come.
loop, but if you in the loop though, and you studying the information you trying to seek, you'll get it by building with other Moors automatically.
No doubt.
You don't have to, you don't have to chase it, man.
No
You
doubt.
know, but if finance is a problem, then everybody that's listening, create your Moorish business. It's simple.
Right.
That's getting rid of the middleman. Now you're not depending on them. They gonna let you down anyway. And then the children can see that, man. Like Cujo said, what you leaving the children? What? So our
Hopefully
ancestors
we
left
leave it.
all this, but our ancestors left us all of this, but we're not leaving nothing for the next generation. Come on,
Right.
man.
Every man, woman, and child got to fend for themselves. You know that. Every man,
Really?
woman, and child. Yes. You tell them like you tell the children they don't listen. They have to fend for themselves.
They can't fend for themselves if they don't know who they is. They can't
Exactly.
fend for themselves if they the people that's supposed to be leading them is not leading.
No, I totally comprehend what you're saying, but
Right.
but from the basic point of view, every man, woman, and child have to fend for themselves. That's the basic principle. Okay, knowledge of self is the fundamental of that, of course. In order for you to defend yourself, you got to know who you are. But that's all starts with the basic.
You know what my
Stages.
son has? Let me ask you something. My son is in the colony school. Cujo know my son, like one of them, right? He's there as a Moor, right? You know what my son tell me? I'm tired of going to these colony school. I want to go to a Moorish school. Where's my Moorish action figure? You see what I'm saying? Where's my Moorish this? You see what I'm saying? And that's what he's talking about, the sellouts.
Right.
You know?
It's the
We
sellout
just
is
gotta
where it
be
just got to
Moors.
start all over. You just got to
We
start
just
all
gotta
over in certain places.
we just got just be a Moor, bro. It's that simple, bro. You'll know what to do. Just
Right.
be acting, be a Moor. You'll know what you do. You'll know what to do.
No doubt. But in certain areas, it's back to the basics. They don't even have the fundamental principal tools of learning anything. I mean, especially when it comes to erudite training, they got to get out of that first.
Well, I got a couple sisters about to start teaching in the metaverse, and any more children, I'm gonna post it when we get this organized, and it's gonna be free. They can come and get some, some lessons. These are mothers, Moabites, that's been waiting, and I just found them, and they're like, yeah, they ready. You know what I mean? They ready, and that could be one solution of many. I'm not taking away from other Moors doing stuff, but that's big.
That's a great solution. That's a great example too. And then that's you actually making it happen.
No, I'm not. They making it happen. I'm just a connector, bro. I don't do titles or nothing. I'm just here to do the work, bro. The sisters asked me, hey, what's up with this metaverse? We're in different location. We would love to teach moral science to the children. Time for the matriarch. This is what they asked, and I said, well, this is the platform you could do it on.
Islam.
I don't get into the titles and all that. Islam, bro.
I was just yielded because I got a call from one of the Moors near Jamaica. So he said Islam to all the Moors, just so we know there's unity.
Islam, brother.
Yeah. Islam in Jamaica. Quote unquote Jamaica.
See, it's unity, bro. It's unity. Some Moors be like they own him. They own him more in the territory. Like Cujo said, you don't know you don't own him more in the territory. You never know. You never know.
Straight up.
But see, that's system that the sisters are getting ready to set up will help the children. That's a great start, man. That's a great start, yo. But then I think Brother Cujo is a good example for the right hand now. Man, he got a temple. Everything already been structured through our temples, man. Brother Cujo prophecy.
Yeah, and he brought the newspaper back too.
Right. I don't see nobody else.
And he got a
Canaanland. I'm at Canaanland.
He got a museum.
Then
he got a
Brother
museum now
Cujo
too.
Prophecy. I don't see nobody else but Canaanland. That's it, bro. I'm sorry. That's who brought me the truth. I don't see nobody else. I see nobody else. Canaanland Prophet over to Ali. By and large, my mom. It, bro.
And you got all trust in our few. It's real.
I know the truth, man. I know the ones who brought me the truth. They don't deal with social constructs. They don't deal with nothing. Law. They keep my mind settled, man. The truth does. That's it. I got a bunch of sellouts around me. So guess what? I don't deal with them. I don't deal with it.
You can't deal with them.
So I'm right here. I don't see y'all. Oh, like for real. I really love my mom. I really thank my mom for being here. Greatest gift of all, gift of life. I'm not turning that way for nobody. Nobody, absolutely nobody. I don't care who it is. Canaanland, that's where we are. Geographically, Canaanland. Them people down in South America, they call it Africa. Why? Them people ain't out to lunch. Them people are not out to lunch. So is no one else. So, hey, it is what it is. Case Ross was meant to be, gonna be. We here.
I got one more question before Cujo shut it down. I got one more question, right? So, the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? Some Moors say it's a theographic government, right? And it's the Moorish Divine National Movement. So the divine government would be the Moorish Science Temple, and I guess the national side of the government would be the Moroccan Empire, the Moorish Empire. And the reason why I'm bringing this up because I saw a Moor that doesn't like Cujo, but his thing saying that Cujo is in Canaanland, right? Well, my thing said he's saying he's not a Moorish American. But my question is, and we shouldn't use the treaties and all this other stuff, right? Great, okay. But in the one-on-ones, Prophet Noble Joe Ali said, "Why are you a Moorish American?" And the answer is because we're Moroccans born in America. And then in chapter 47 in the Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, it said that the Moors are the true possessors of the Moroccan Empire. My question is, so how we not Moorish American and how Cujo not Moorish American when the so-called construct of the continent that they call America is North America, South America, and Central America? And on top of that, he said, forget the treaties. Well, we the true possessors of the Moroccan Empire, right? And we are Moroccans born in America. I just don't get that. What you said to that, Cujo?
But if we go to the Quran too, if we also go to divine origin of the Asiatic nations, Noble Drew Ali makes reference to the Moorish Americans and Mexicans of North America. So above Mexico would have to be Morocco. If we're descendants of Moroccans born in America, which makes us Moorish Americans, then above Mexico is Morocco.
Right.
And if above Mexico is Morocco, then we're Moorish Americans. Even though the Mexicans are Moorish Americans and the Brazilians are Moorish Americans and the Chileans are Moorish Americans and the Guyanese are Moorish Americans, Paraguayans are Moorish Americans, and anybody who's in America is a Moorish American.
So that would make right. So that would make sense. But that would make sense.
Though.
Right, but listen, that would make sense. It's the Moorish Divine and National Movement. So the Moorish Science Temple, right? And then the Moroccan government, or the Moroccan Empire, which is the Moorish Empire, as operating as one.
Yeah.
See, that's why Brother Cujo right there, the temples, everything been structured already through the temples. Through Prophet Noble Drew Ali already set that up. The temples was infrastructure. Everything in the 1920s was already being operated as such. Now it's thin flat all over, like spread it all over the place.
But he knew they was gonna argue. He knew they was gonna argue over that temple thing. Because I researched. There was two. I asked the Grand Sheik. I ain't gonna call his name out there. But I said, how come y'all got two different charters, and this one is home office and this is home office? So I asked him then. I said, yeah, you know, Hearst reverse statue and all that, and it's an ecclesiastic body. But I say, let's look at it from a business perspective. Isn't the Moorish Science Temple is the DBA for the Moorish Science Temple or the Holy Science Temple of America? He was like, no. I said, well, the 101 say doing business as. It adopted a name. I said, y'all fell for that, huh? It's the Moorish Divine National Movement. Y'all fell for that. And y'all arguing over this, and y'all ain't doing that. I'm like, what are you doing? I said, well, the doctor of discovery is over. So since you're a grand sheik of the Moorish Science Temple, why did you hold a press conference? And if you know, you doing with religious, y'all don't use no religious law? He was like, what are you talking about? I said, well, the doctor of discovery is over. I said, brother, do you have procedures when a baby is born? Or do you bury Moorish Americans? Do you go see them when they're in the hospital? He was like, nah, we don't do that. I said, so what do y'all do? Oh, we have temple meetings. That's it?
Yeah.
That's it? Okay, I asked him another question. So I said, well, let me see your, what is it? Doctor of divinity paperwork or your sheet paperwork. So he was like, I got my sheet papers, but I don't got my divinity of ministry license. I said, well, he said, well, why are you asking that? Well, y'all say Moore shouldn't say that we shouldn't have a license plate, which we're not telling you that. But we just saying if you want to use it, know what you're doing and reserve your rights. But my question is, if you is a Moorish Science Temple religious, why don't you have a doctorate of ministry or a charity plate from the state? You know you can get religious plates from the church. And how about you give every Moorish American plates for the church? Why don't you just I mean for the temple, but y'all know, you know, in layman's term, church society, whatever, so they can stop getting it tested. Why don't y'all do that? Because if y'all have a church, let play church then. All other Europeans do it. They got different plates, ministry plates. Like I'm just the reason why I'm asking if they gonna play church, then why you not doing that to protect your people? That's all I'm saying. So they won't have to go out there and try stuff. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but that's where they can't um they can't mix it like that. You know, because if they start doing the activity of the civic side with the religious thing, then their boss is gonna come and enforce some stuff on it.
Exactly.
You know,
but the Vatican can come in town and get plates. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you right. They boss gonna get mad. That's crazy. They don't even give out. I asked them about the vaccine. I said, you give out religious exemptions? Oh no, we don't get into that, brother. Really?
Yeah.
But you
Because
playing church though.
They can't play the civic. Because remember the things that Moorish Science Temple of America does that's religious is actually civic.
Right.
They're just posing with it as religious because they're playing religious corporation, whatever. But it's really supposed to be national affairs that they're dealing with, not religious affairs.
Right.
Sounds like we need to get some clean people in the temples, man. That's all it sounds like.
But that's only going to happen if the people go in there and be members. Because the people who are already in there are probably under the brainwash. Or they would have removed them, or they would have left. But if they're in there still, then you know they're in there. They're under the brainwash.
I'm so glad I wasn't. I apologize. Well, can I just make a statement?
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
I'm so glad I wasn't. I mean, this is I look at it as a benefit, but it is wrong though. I'm so glad I wasn't able to find no temple around here where I'm at to get misled. I'm so
Hey,
glad
brother,
I wasn't able
look,
to find a temple around here so I can get misled, man. I was so glad I was
bro,
able.
me and Cujo and some Moors went to a temple in Pittsburgh. Bruh, we had to bang on the door, bruh. We looking through the mail slot, bruh. Then the dude, when he came outside, he shut the door and talked to us, bruh. And he didn't want to talk to us.
You
And we
see?
coming with a grand sheet, bruh.
I'm so glad I had to go through that. So my hands down to everyone that had to go through it to expose all the fraud.
But they not really exposed because, like Cujo just told you, the members up in there, they not going. They going along with it.
Not for long though, because a conscious thing happening right now. I don't know. Like from my point of view, I think a conscious wave happened, and it's time. They time up. Ask me, cause they look at what's going on. If we look at the energy in the air, they scarred. As far as I'm
Bruh,
concerned.
they don't even bury their own members. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. That's why they gonna fall.
They don't.
That's
They
why.
don't.
That's why we speaking about them right now.
These babies come in the world, and then there's no grand sheik in that territory to assist the mothers.
Right.
Because,
And
like
that's
Cujo
sad.
said, they can't do the shit. They can't. They master go get upset.
Yep. That's sad, man. Really sad. So love need to come like yesterday.
That's the whole point. But again, the whole concept of the love and the unity and whatever is what we're doing right here, right now.
Right.
The whole concept of the love and the unity is all these Moors in the chat who off this they build. You know what I mean? You know, like people don't know that off this Moors build. It's not just come here on this thing build and then Moors don't build with each other off of this.
I guess they think nationality is something you could turn on like a light switch and put on like a pair of shoes or something.
Yeah.
Wrong concept.
Yeah, they look at it as a benefit. You know, something to do something for them. You know, have a coat, have a shoe, have a pants, you know what I mean? That's not what this is. This is blood. It's not a coat. This is blood. This is heart and eyeball.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad again. Let me so glad for you, brother Cujo, and more and everyone who's just doing right and putting out the right energy and leading
But
everyone.
we a family.
Right.
We're a family. That's what a nation is.
Love y'all, man. Love y'all, guys. Love y'all, man. Love y'all for everything that y'all have done over the years that brought me to this fruition that I'm at right now. This mental insight, like awareness, knowledge of self. Man, this is so beautiful, yo. Like for real. I see myself. I see myself. I see myself. And I owe that all the Prophet all that to more vengeance, all that, brother Cujo, all that. I owe it all. Hands down.
And all the master teachers who,
especially when Sons of Allah broadcasting now, I used to catch them all the time. So sorry that they got to be taken down.
Yeah, it's all good. It's
hands down, brother man. Hands down, yo.
Yeah.
I appreciate everything. Honestly.
We'll be back next week, Thursday. Next Thursday, Sons of Allah, right here, 7:30, 8 p.m. And following month and onward, every third Thursday, right here. So no Sons of Allah tonight, but we'll be broadcasting next week Thursday, right here. Canaanland Moors YouTube. The Moors have any closing remarks?
Just thank you for everything. Again, just thank you. Love is in the air.
Okay. I just want to say all honest to all the Moors everywhere, man. Just get active, link up with a Moor, and just stay active. You're not alone. Moors is coming out of the lab, and it's unity. Just because you don't see a Moor or whatever, you just think you're a Moor online. As you can see, we connect. We all connected, and all honest to Noble Jew Ali, because a lot of Moors is trying to be the leader, man, and don't honor. We don't worship him. We honor him, but without Noble Jew Ali, this wouldn't be possible right here. So, that's all. That's all I gotta say. Peace and love.
Peace and love, so Islam.
Give thanks. Peace and love to
Give
all the
thanks.
Moors worldwide, all the Moors in the chat, all the Moors
Islam.
wherever you're
Good
at.
job, Brother Cujo. Good work, Brother Amarat. Good work, everyone. Good work.
Peace and love,
Yeah.
Moors.
Peace and love. Peace and love to the mothers too.
No doubt. Thanks for everything, Divine Law. We honor you. Thank you, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Thank you for everything. Love, love, love. We in the flow. More vengeance.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence of law makes civil a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, rapping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake's still showing up, stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finishing.
Moorish or Moor, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Fact slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brain waves, squash my heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, Negus appearing real. All I see is false evidence. DA are feminists, stomped on by elephants. More like no prejudice, but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the cold magnetic resonance. Apis horns of the sacred book, all maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness. No pestilence, ace all the testaments. Tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no they live shades. Keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades. Not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors present Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?